Welcome back to vocaltrainingwarrior.com. My last video on interpretation was a big hit, and I'm so glad that so many of you have watched it and continue to watch it, and the great response I'm getting. Today we're going to expand on that in a far more practical way. You're going to learn some things today that you may have never thought about in any performance of any type. And if you look behind me, and maybe you look at this shirt, we're in Hawaii. I love going to Hawaii, Maui especially. You know why? It's not only relaxing, but you know what? There's so many cool things going on there. Rainbows shooting across the sky, a thunderstorm in the middle of the day. The sunset changes all the time. And you know what? That's the creative energies at work. Now, I live in Southern California, Orange County. Great for its climate. People are moving here all the time. But it's kind of boring. You know, if we get a thunderstorm, it's like big news. If we get lightning, it's on the news. Some places in the United States, they got lightning all the time. So, when you go to a place like Maui, you see energy at work, the energy of the universe. And guess what? You can't help but watch it. If it's a volcano, if it's a great wave. In the 70s, I lived on Sunset Beach, North Shore of Oahu, a little surfer boy over there. And we would have, one day it'd be the waves are breaking like this. They used to call it ant waves. You know, the ants, it was so small the ants could surf them. And then you would wake up at 4 in the morning, that quickly. And it would sound like a freight train was coming through the house. And you'd come out and look at Sunset Beach, and it'd be 15 feet, just cranking. And the next day would be full of people surfing and people getting hurt. And there's this energy of the waves, though, surfing those big waves. And I surfed that wave, and that was an incredible wave. If you're performing on a stage, let's say that we're going to make a dividing line between you, okay, whatever you are, speaker, actor, singer, musical group, I don't care what it is, and there's the dividing line of the auditorium, and there's the audience. Let's talk about the audience. They came there with high expectations. They may have bought those tickets 2 months ago. They may have stood in line to get tickets for those. They may have spent $50 to get front row. So they have high expectations. We will say that they have a lot of energy, don't they? They're all stoked. They're dressed up. They cleared their schedule. They may even rented a limo, had dinner before they came. A lot of expectations. Okay, now here's the band. Let's make sure the band has rehearsed. Let's make sure that they've sung these songs 5,000 times and they still have that same energy when they're coming out. So here comes the battlefield of performance. And everybody starts, right? And everybody's kind of even in the beginning. But let's just say your performance is not working right away. All of a sudden you come out flat, you don't feel well, you don't care like giving to your audience tonight. And boy, do they feel it. We've all been in that audience, haven't we? We start looking at our watch pretty quick. And let's just pretend now that there's 100% of energy. And now what happens in that scenario is the audience may get like 65% of the energy. And you're the rest of it up to 100%, right? Maybe you're 35% now. That's not a good thing. Because when you're a performer, you're responsible for going over that 50% mark. That's your responsibility. You need to be putting out energy. You need to be communicating and giving your audience what they paid for and what they deserve from you as an audience. So once you allow at any time in your performance the audience to move this direction in the energy flow, you're losing the ground. They're looking at their watch. They're wondering, why did they come to this show? They're looking at their wife or their kid. Why did you take me here? On the other hand, if the group is putting out a great produced show with lots of energy, what's happening? People are captivated. They're in their seats. They don't want to go anywhere. They don't even want to go to the bathroom. They don't want to get any food. They want to sit right there because they don't want to miss anything. We've all been in these shows. I will tell you a personal story. There's a famous rock singer that came out of a famous rock group from the 80s, and I'm not going to mention his name. But I have liked their music and his music as a solo artist. I went to an amphitheater a few years back to see him as a solo artist. It was the worst show I had ever been to. Do you know why? Because he stood like a pole before his microphone, and that's about all he did. Then, he was so bad at producing his show, the songs were all over the map. He had a new album coming out that people hadn't heard because it wasn't a part of the original group, and all of a sudden we had all these songs that nobody had heard, like thrown at him. You know what? When you're an established performer and you have lots of hits that people know, it's your responsibility to take that show and mix it up and make sure that it has a ebb and a flow to it. Because everybody was thinking this way. It was the very end of the show when he finally started playing some hits that people kind of started getting into it. But he lost them in the first 15 minutes. And I'm not the only one. That was a great tragedy and avoidable just by rearranging his songs and coming out without kind of a snooty, I'm here and I'm cool attitude, and moving around and communicating with people on the stage instead of staying like a pole in front of his microphone. So, let's clarify this now. When you are a performer, you must get in character, just like the last video, interpretation. You need to own that song. And you need to come out with that energy. You need to be 75% energy. You need to be 80% energy. You always need to be pushing that energy envelope. That is your responsibility, and it can be done of all of us. But if you get a haughty little attitude that you're so cool and you're making 20 million a show, or we're making $5 a show, but if you get that attitude that they deserve to give to me, I am special, I am a great performer, I am famous, so give to me, audience, come forth, give me energy, you're going to fall flat on your face. You are going to fall flat on your face, and you'll never have anybody come into your show. Okay? So, no matter what skill level you are, it's so important that you keep it fresh, that you meditate, that you visualize a successful show. Even before you go out there, the day of the show, the week of the show, the tour, all of it, and that you come out giving from your heart, giving everything you have to your audience. And I guarantee you, you will have a captive audience, you will have a happy audience, and they're going to buy a lot of your records, a lot of your t-shirts, they're going to like you, they're going to go tell other people, and you will be successful because it'll grow and grow and grow like a big giant bonfire, as it always does. Or you can go the other direction. So what is your choice? I'm going to take the other choice. I'm here today giving to you. I'm not charging you for this video. I want you to learn this information. It's so important. Isn't that great stuff? Now, go to Hawaii. You don't even have to go to Hawaii. Just be aware of energy around you during the day, energy that's happening, and have a sharing, giving attitude as an artist.